Hello everyone and welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. I have some good news, some encouraging news. Different states across the country are stepping up to shield the $1,400 stimulus checks from private debt collectors because Congress failed to do so with the latest American Rescue Plan, the $1.9 trillion American Rescue Plan. Because it was passed through the process of budget reconciliation, the $1,400 stimulus checks were not shielded from private debt collectors, unlike the first stimulus check of $1,200, unlike the second stimulus check of $600. Folks, welcome to this episode of Ignition Time. This right here is a little bit of information about me. You learn more about who I am, what my journey has been like, and why you should listen to me. This channel, the Ignition Time channel, is about the country, the economy, as well as your money. Let's just jump right into the news. Let's show you this article on your screen from CNN. Congress failed to protect stimulus checks from private debt collectors. Some states are indeed stepping up. So the good news is at least 6 states are stepping up. We now have reporting from CNN. And by the way, you'll get a link to this article and all of our resources in the description section below. Some states, including the states of Maryland, New Jersey, Washington, as well as Massachusetts, Nebraska, and New York, have taken action to protect their residents. So again, governors in Maryland, New Jersey, and Washington, as well as state attorneys in Massachusetts, Nebraska, and New York, have taken action in the past few weeks to make sure that their most vulnerable residents, the $1,400 stimulus checks, are protected. Now keep in mind that Congress failed to provide this protection with the American Rescue Plan because, unlike the first 2 stimulus checks, the bills associated with the first 2 stimulus checks, these stimulus checks, the $1,400 stimulus checks, were passed without a single Republican vote in the House or the Senate. And because this was passed through budget reconciliation, that protection from private debt collectors was not included this time around. Now, here's how things actually work with this $1,400 stimulus check. This is a quote from the CNN article. Recipients with unpaid credit card or medical bills for which a company has obtained a legal judgment against the debtor could take the fresh infusion, could take the $1,400 stimulus checks directly from the bank accounts, potentially harming those who are in need of this emergency cash. According to April Quenhoff, who's a state attorney at the National Consumer Law Center, it's certainly great to see states taking action, but it would have been much more expeditious if there was actually federal legislation. In other words, if the federal government had done this, the states would not have to step in. And keep in mind, right now, we only have 6 states that have stepped in to do something about this, but other states have not yet done something at the time I'm recording this video. And what they've actually done is try to work with these banks and credit unions to make sure that private debt collectors don't go in and seize the money directly from the bank account. So what have the states been doing? Let's check out this tweet from the governor of New Jersey, Phil Murphy. We've secured support from 49 banks and credit unions to protect the $1,400 stimulus checks, the American Rescue Plan payments, from being garnished. The American Rescue Plan is for the American people, not for banks and creditors, according to Governor Phil Murphy from New Jersey. Now, what's even more interesting is that bank and credit union groups are supporting this initiative, and they actually sent a letter to lawmakers. Let's show you this letter on your screen that was sent by bank and credit unions because they joined consumer advocates like the National Consumer Law Center, and they sent a letter to Congress in the past few weeks urging lawmakers to protect the payments. Very interesting. By the way, again, you see the letter on your screen, and this is an important quote from the letter. While depository institutions and even many debt collectors and buyers believe that economic impact payments should be exempt from garnishment orders, depository institutions are obligated to comply with court orders. Basically, they're saying that, hey, if I'm a bank and I get a letter from a judge or I get a court order basically saying, hey, you have to garnish this money or you have to take the $1,400 stimulus check directly from the bank account and use it to pay someone who is owed a debt, then we have no choice but to comply with federal orders. So they actually sent a letter to Congress saying, hey, you need to do something about this because if we get a letter from a judge, we are obligated, we are required by law to take the money, whether we want to or not, and take it away from the resident and give it to the debt collector. Pretty incredible what is happening in our economy. Now, I do want our viewers and subscribers to know that these payments, these stimulus payments, are essentially protected from outstanding federal debts, including student debt or tax debt. But if there is some other type of debt a private debt collector, if you will, that means that these payments are not protected under the new law. So there is a distinction about the kind of debt. Again, federal debt and student loan debt specifically is protected because the law protects stimulus payments from garnishment for outstanding federal debts. But if it's a private debt, unless the state is doing something about it, there is a chance that a private debt collector could actually seize the money from your bank account if they have a court order. Now, if the money is not going into your bank account and you get a check in the mail, then of course there's no way the private debt collector can seize that money. Now, I do want our viewers and subscribers to know that this problem of garnishment tends to affect individuals who are primarily low income. And this is not the only problem affecting low income individuals, the problem of garnishment, I mean. According to reporting from CNN, there's another hurdle for people who are eligible for the $1,400 stimulus checks but missed out on $1,400 stimulus checks or are not getting the full amount. An estimated 8 million households, okay? I'm not talking 8 million of our fellow Americans. I'm talking 8 million households, the most vulnerable amongst us. Most likely individuals in travel, leisure, entertainment and hospitality, many of whom have lost their jobs permanently, many of whom are now on permanent unemployment. They could not get the money sent to them, most likely because the IRS did not have their correct information on file. Very low income individuals, in some cases individuals who don't even have jobs, who don't even qualify for unemployment, they are not required to file taxes, and therefore the IRS does not have their information and therefore cannot send them the $1,400 stimulus checks. So what does an individual like this do? Now, an individual like this is allowed to claim the payment as a credit on their 2020 tax return. But this is interesting, and this is how this ties in to debt. Okay, this is important. None of the three stimulus bills, not the first stimulus bill with the $1,200 stimulus check, or the second stimulus bill with the $600 stimulus check, or the third American Rescue Plan with the $1,400 stimulus checks, neither of them protect against, get this is important, neither of the three relief bills shield those tax credits in the 2020 returns that you can file. Neither of them shield those tax credits from outstanding debts, including federal debts. This is important. So I hope this made sense. So keep in mind that if you have federal debt and you're trying to claim the $1,400 stimulus check as a credit on your 2020 tax return, unfortunately, you're out of luck. And after facing pressure from the National Taxpayer Advocate, the IRS agreed to use its discretion when considering offsetting the stimulus credits. But people who've already filed their 2020 tax returns may have lost out on the cash, and it could be, there could be a situation that they may not have a way of getting that money back. I'll provide you with a link to the article in the description section below. Let me know your thoughts about states stepping in to shield the $1,400 stimulus checks from garnishment by private debt collectors because Congress failed to do it. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please click the like button. Please subscribe. Please enable notifications. It really helps out the YouTube algorithm. I want you to know that you are greatly appreciated. I work hard on this channel every single day. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next episode of Ignition Time. Take care. Bye.